Alright, so I'm having problems with my shift lock on this 27 Nissan Sentra. Occasionally when I try to get it out of gear, push the brake, I don't have the car running right now, but I'll push the brake, try to pull it out, and it'll fight me. Sometimes it's 3 tries, sometimes it's like 15 tries before I can get the shift lock actuator to release and let me get it out of park. I anticipate it has something to do with the fact that this is a flood car, so it probably got some gunk up in the actuator and it just doesn't work sometimes. Anyway, so videos just for detailing how to get down to it and hopefully how to just remove it and set it off to the side for the time being, so I don't have to worry about getting stranded somewhere. So anyway, from what I've seen on other videos, I already popped this earlier, re-snapped it back down. So we'll start from scratch, but other videos I saw online, I guess I have to get this off first because I noticed there was tabs here and here with probably screws, and I wasn't sure. So once looked online, I find that's true. There's screws back there holding it, so I don't want to break anything. So I'm gonna have to start by prying here to pop this bezel loose, which scares the crap out of me, of course. I don't like doing this kind of crap. Seems to me like it's just gonna break. Anyway, I'm gonna have to put this tool down so I can actually get this done. So that's the next step. Okay, after crazy amounts of prying underneath, right in here, it finally did pop. I was kind of afraid that I was going to break the panel trying to get it out. I cannot believe how much force this requires to pop this thing. I don't know why Nissan didn't put 2 little slots, like maybe here and here, so you could get a nice little tool in there. Nobody's ever going to see it. Just a teeny slot would have been nice. Been much easier to remove. But anyway, thankfully it finally popped without breaking. So I got to finish popping the rest of these clips, take this bezel off. I'll be undoing some screws, one there, one there. Then I'll pop the rest of this bezel out down to here, and we'll dig in the rest of the way. All right, got the bezel off. Now you can see the torque screws hiding here and over here on this side. So we'll be taking those out. I think they're Torx. I can't tell why they're so bad. Either Torx or Hex. So I don't know why they did that one using Phillips right here. I guess it would be too easy to be consistent. Automakers, I don't understand them. They're just plain knuckleheads. Alright, so now I got them. They were Torx. In fact, they were T20s sitting up here. So now we're going to go ahead and pop the bezel off. This pops real easy. I already had that popped earlier, so I knew it wasn't going to be too bad. Alright. Now she's coming apart. Makes sense. Alrighty. It's probably going to show me that I need to pop it out of gear. So be sure to hold the brake when doing this part to get this stuff all out. Maybe it would have come out without this, but we've got some wiring to undo down here. Okay, little connector. Lovely. Alright, got that beast. Now we're back to looking at the shifter. Hopefully this is something I can even do. They might have made this so it's kind of like permanent. All one piece. Alright, let's try some flash. I can't see anything here. And what do we got when I push the brake? Where are you releasing? Did this on my brother-in-law's Honda Accord years and years and years ago. So I figured I'd be able to find it. Not a whole lot of energy, but I'm dreaming. Get my console off here a second. Where are ya? Maybe that guy? That little dude right there? That's a possibility. Oh, there you are. See you wiggling, you little bastard. That guy right there. Yeah, you're mean. You're a troublemaker. You little... Yeah, sometimes you shouldn't have said that, I guess. Wasn't very wise. Because this is where I'm catching. When I go to pull it out of gear and it just says, not a chance, sucker. Because this isn't getting out of the way. I think it's like partially moving. Of course, it's not doing that now. It's working perfectly now. But When I was in Vegas, it said, no, I ain't playing. So when I would push this sometimes, I'd go to push the release, and it would get stuck like this. Wouldn't be able to get it out, so I get a feeling it was just half back, not all the way. Might not even have to do more than just wedge this thing in place or zip tie it or something. Alright, something I didn't even notice earlier when I was showing you this, but I'd mentioned how it was a flood car, and I figured it was all related to that. Well, you can see there's rust even on this little lever here when I push the release button on the shifter itself. The lever that goes down, see how he's nice and rusty? And this is obviously, definitely my problem. So something here sticky on occasion. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to bypass it. I think I've figured one out to solve my problem. Anybody wanting to bypass their own shifter, it's on you. Because once you remove this ability to lock the shifter, it can be pulled out of gear anytime the car is started for sure, and maybe actually when it's not even running. So I liked old cars that actually were locked, you know, unless somebody pulled the lever. So let's see. No, you still got to push the button to pull it out of gear, I believe. Let's see, we'll test that theory. Pull the brake, make sure the car doesn't roll away, because I am on a hill, and that would just prove how much of an idiot I am if I were to pull it out of gear. Alright, so let's see if it can be done. Yes, it can be pulled out of gear this way with the bypass in place on the shift lock on top. So let's put it back into park. See what happens if we just pull the lever. Let's see. No, let's just pull the lever with this shift lock overridden. So right here, I'm pushing this guy out of the way. Without pushing the button, you still can't take it out of park. So it's like an old school car. Right now, if I bypass this, it'll be like an old school car. You still can't accidentally pop it out of park. You have to push the button in up here and have this lock overridden down here. But, you know, if you got a kid sitting in the car, if you're not wise enough and you leave your kids in the car, which you shouldn't do anyway because it's against the law in most states. So if you're going to abide by the law, you shouldn't have a kid before age 12 sitting in this seat. And in the back seat, if they're in the child safety seat like they're supposed to be, they're not going to be reaching forward to your shifter, are they? So if you're using common sense and following the law, it'll never be a problem. You wouldn't need the shift lock. But again, it's on you if you decide to do anything with this. I'd recommend you not.